So, you found yourself with the bad boy or the bad girl of the group. Congratulations. Hello, everybody. It is I, your friendly neighborhood INFP, and today we're going to be talking about INFP with ISTP. The, stereotypical bad boy or bad girl of the group. You know, the lone wolf who don't need no man or don't need nobody. The one walks into the forest all coolly and is like, yeah, I'm the cool lone wolf. I don't need nothing. You know, that Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, that kind of level of lone wolf energy, if you will, or even Indiana Jones, although I think he was more of an ESTP. Doesn't matter. Somehow, probably through the ISTP, being, a tomboy, bad girl, bad boy, whatever, they have attracted the INFP's attention. INFP has probably gotten curious about them, or they themselves have approached the INFP, depending on the ISTP that you're dealing with. And through some means, whether it's the INFP instigating it or it is the ISTP instigating it, depending on which way you want to go at it, i.e., look at Grease, for example, the movie with John Travolta, the musical, great musical, by the way. There are many ways that this relationship could have ended up together, and a great many, I feel, romance dramas and books probably have been potentially written around this type in specific. This is going to be a very, I wouldn't even call it aloof. It would be almost like a adventure based, camp based, outdoorsy type of relationship. Definitely, like, so if you enjoy the outdoors, if you enjoy activity, if you enjoy having good food, if you enjoy trying new things, if you enjoy learning how to survive in the wild, if you want to be around somebody who has prepared for the zombie apocalypse since times innumerable, the INFP is going to be with the ISTP in this case, and the ISTP is going to have multitudes of methods of protecting the INFP in the case of said zombie apocalypse. But we're not talking about a zombie apocalypse now, are we? Although that would be an interesting topic for another time. So, upon going along this route, this is going to be one of those definitely kind of active, kind of adrenaline based, kind of outdoorsy, very likely end up with somebody on a motorcycle. Every ISTP that I've known has had something similar to a motorcycle, and if they haven't had a motorcycle, they've had a muscle car. It's almost like it's in their blood somehow. Now I'm not saying that all of them have it. It's just in this case, you're definitely coming across that hot motorcycle chick who has decided to bring you on a epic road trip on the back of a motorcycle as you're hugging her really, really, really close. And yeah, I would imagine she would be enjoying that too, and I need to stop making myself jealous. Moving on the INFP side of things, aside from being brought around to outdoorsy stuff, camping, learning how to fight, learning how to woodwork, potentially learning how to fix things, build things, all the things of that nature. Even if the INFP isn't like super interested in that kind of stuff, they will just by osmosis learn some of those skills. With the ISTP, the INFP is going to get them more in touch with their emotions, get them to open up a little, get them to be more social, perhaps, going to get them to be, even though the ISTP is technically going to be more social than the INFP, ironically enough, due to simply them being a C user instead of a Psi user, and the INFPs have like three in the head thing. So definitely the ISTP is probably going to do the most talking, potentially. The INFP is going to get them to try new things that they haven't considered before. Usually from some idea or another. They're going to help the ISTP brainstorm. So the ISTP will be like, hey, I want to do this. Do you have any ideas? And the INFP will be like, boy, do I ever. And the ISTP will go and build that death ray or, floating city and or floating car, depending on borderline illegal things that they'd be doing to accomplish such things. And especially if the INFP is like, hey, you know what would be cool? A floating castle. And the ISTP would go like, okay, well, how would I make a floating castle? And then suddenly the world has its first floating castle, which would be really cool, by the way. So like if some like INFP out there can like get a engineer ISTP out there somewhere to be like, hey, you know, it'd be a cool idea, a floating castle that's kind of like floating above ground. If an INFP could get like an ISTP could go and do that, and they're like in a relationship, that would be great. Continuing on, this is going to be also a very comfortable home for people to go to, maybe a little bit more difficult. Definitely potentially going to have a bunch of tree houses that they're going to be romping around in, because tree houses are cool, and the INFPs love the nostalgia of a tree house, and the ISTP would love building an epic tree house. So of course there'd be a couple tree houses in the middle of the woods where they'd likely live, because this is the type of couple that would live in the woods with a bunch of tree houses and a moat. That would actually be kind of cool. Now then, dang it, I'm making myself jealous again. This is like, this is a problem with me. And oh no, I can't. Oh, I'm just imagining it all. It's like, if it's like, oh no, why have I done this to myself? Why have I done this to myself? That would be so cool. You know, like giving them the ideas and helping them with those ideas, and giving them like a comfortable place. Like they build the things, and then the INFPs make them super comfortable, and then there's like the secret cuddle sessions that every ISTP likes to not admit that they're into, and then, you know, the romance films that every ISTP admits that they're not into, but they actually kind of secretly are, as well as like all the dating sims that the ISTP secretly aren't into, but actually are, but they're totally going to be doing it together with the INFP. Good times. Don't tell an ISTP I said that. They're probably going to come after me shortly after this video goes live. Send help. I may have let out some secrets that should never have been let out. So I'm going to cut it here in case they start coming after me.